Hey guys, a little late today. I'm here. Busy day. Lots of driving around. Lots of getting ready for this week. A busy week. Four charters. Four charters in 1 week. We haven't had that since last year. So looking forward to it. Four charters. Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So it'll be cool. Okay. Worked on the little boat again today. So got that all going. I think I'm going to film some shows on it since a lot of you ask about small boat episodes. There's April waiting in the wings. She saw me grab her little bone. So we have a guest joining us in 15 minutes. It's Mike from 22nd Street Landing, and he's going to give us an update on what's going on at the landing. Their boats are running now. There's some new restrictions, so we'll hear from Mike all about that. So Nitro, what do you do on the skiff? I haven't used the skiff yet. It's got brand new engines. I have to break in the engine. The only thing I've done with it so far is taking my parents on a little harbor cruise, but haven't taken it out. There's April. She's waiting to get fed. Pablo, what do you recommend for big tuna spinning setup? I don't. Oh, Nitro, you're Mike? All right, cool. So you guys think about the questions you want to ask Mike about what you want to know about the boats. They're running. Yes, Jason, the Freedom is 22nd Street. I was just on it today and saw what they did. It's they really did the galley up really nice, and it's like prettier than I've ever seen it. So that's pretty good. No, Jessica's on TV tonight. Jessica is on Below Deck. So I guess you guys, I don't know if any of you saw my Instagram. The pictures with Jessica and I from Saturday. I was down on my parents' boat, my old boat, and Jessica was on the boat next door. And she was asking me about my program, and I was telling her that I'd enjoy the show she's on, and it was pretty cool. So yeah, everybody's commenting about how big my smile was. How can you not smile next to something that pretty? So it was fun. Yeah, so if you guys have any questions about the Freedom, if you want to know about the Twilight trips that they have going out of there, we have a trip July 12th. It's a Sunday out of 22nd Street. It's be the first trip out of 22nd Street we've done in years. And we'll be on the Tradition, and we'll be fishing yellowtail, calico bass, something like that. Probably going to be a local trip. We might go to Catalina. I don't know. I was just talking to the skipper today. So hopefully, we might go to the island. But Tom's a great skipper. He's been around forever. He's got a huge reputation. He actually started the landing at San Pedro at Portugal many, many years ago before Peterson took it over. And then Danny Salas bought it or got the lease on it. He's running it now. So that's where the Triton and the Gale Force run out of. Danny's just into the harbor cruise business now. Whale watching. That's where he makes all his money. And he makes a lot of it. So pretty sure his boats are up and running now too. Lloyd, you didn't find a bunch of gold? Kevin, I put one of my older Ray Marine units on it, but the unit's so big it takes up the whole dash. I couldn't put the big one on there, so I put the 12-inch one, and it still covered the whole dash. So I need to take it out soon. After I get done with this week, like I said, I got 4 charters this week. Maybe next week it'll be a little slower, and I can take the boat out. But I finished off the fuel tank today. Got that all done, so that was good. Yeah, Kevin, it's a Ray Marine. One of those touchscreen ones. I forgot what model it is. It's an older one. It's one I used to have on the Chris Craft. And it's a nice boat. And make her happy. So, hey Dan, me and my 3 friends want to book a charter with you. Channel Islands. The best thing to do for Channel Islands, if you want to go with me, is just go on my website at sport-fishing.com. Let me see if I can find it for you. Here we go. And I'll just go to the trips here. I'll put the link here for you. And you can see all the trips that we have, our filming trips for the TV show. Those are the only trips I do in the Channel Islands. You might want to go on the Coral Sea too. Go up to Santa Barbara. That will be a fun trip. It's a really nice boat. It's an overnight trip. And it should be fun. But we do have some other boat. We do have trips out of Channel Islands. And here's the link to that. And you can go there and see all the trips we have scheduled. And the trip that we have on the Tradition, you guys can see it there too if you want to sign up and join us. That'd be lots of fun. Yeah, a couple of my friends asked me if I was going to have a viewing party tonight for Below Deck, since Jessica's on there. Should have asked her if she's having a party for it. I think she knows whenever the light's on in this room, it's time to come get something to eat. So Lloyd's in here prospecting for gold. It sounded like he didn't get much gold. So when you kill the rattlesnakes, Lloyd, do you guys eat them? I know they're really delicious. So. Jason, without using a wire leader, what's a good hook to use for Cuda? Jason, if you're going to fish hooks, live bait, you want to use a circle hook. Circle hook, and this is what a circle hook looks like. That's a circle hook. You want to use a circle hook, something that is like that, not a J hook, but a circle hook. So you have a J hook here. So this is a J hook. Looks like a big J. And that's a circle hook. So you can see the difference. Okay. So I want to use a circle hook. And with the circle hook, you want to use it because you're going to hook the fish in the corner of the jaw. He's not going to swallow the hook, and he's not going to cut your line off. I had a private charter last Friday, and this is what we caught our barracuda on. It was a Magic Metal Light jig, and this worked out really good. We only landed 2 barracuda, and these are the jigs that we caught them on. And we lost 5 or 6 barracuda to seals. All we brought in was a seal, was the head of the barracuda. But if you're gonna throw live bait at barracuda, make sure, very important, that you use a circle hook. Okay. Lee, what color line do I use? I normally always use blue, like this one. This is Iser. I use a lot of Iser line just because it's inexpensive and it's local. And Russ Iser was a really nice guy. And he ran out of 22nd Street. And he built reefs for us, Iser Reef, off Huntington Beach. So he's no longer around, but his company, Steve runs it now, owns it now. He does a good job with it. But I like to use blue. Sometimes I use green. You'll never, ever, ever see me use clear line. And the reason for that is many years ago, we did a test where we ran clear line over my friend's pool, and we put underwater camera underneath it. And you could see the light pulsating through the clear line. And it was just going through there like laser beams. And because of that, I don't fish clear line anymore. I also use fluorocarbon when I'm for surface fishing. Anytime I'm surface fishing, I'm using fluorocarbon. And there is no white line for no clear line, I should say, in fluorocarbon. All fluorocarbon has some tint to it. So Kevin has a good point there. When you catch a barracuda, especially on the jig, you don't want to pump your line. You want to just, when you set the hook on with the jig, you pull the rod into your body and keep winding. Don't lift up and pump it. All you do is put slack line in there and throw the jig, and you'll lose them. Okay, the Bucktail, probably the best jig for barracuda. Really, I like the Magic Metal Lights. This is my favorite jig for barracuda. I have caught barracuda on bucktails, but I would throw a Magic Metal Light for them. They kick really good. I think I have one here in the raffle prize today. This is the 5-inch Magic Metal Light, 5mm5. They're light. They have 2 counterweights in them and rattles. So I hear the rattle in it. And it works really good. The barracuda are big. I wouldn't throw this little one. I would throw the big one. And it worked out good. If you guys are interested in buying the bucktails and you're going out of 22nd Street, go on the Freedom or one of the half-day boats or something, they do sell our bucktails at the landing there. So you can find them there. They have a pretty good selection, but they are running out. I was there today, and they're getting a little low on some. But they have a good selection there right now. You can pick them up there before you get on the boat. If you're going to be sculpin fishing, bottom fishing, bass fishing, white sea bass fishing, halibut fishing, you should pick some up. Yeah, Lee. So Russ Iser was the captain, and he owned the boat, the first string, and I guess he named the line after his boat. So that's how he named it. I don't know what came first, the line or the boat. That's a good question. There's April. Say hi to everybody, April. Come here. Come here. Show me shake. You just want food, huh? That's it? And just a meal ticket to you? Well, she even smiled now. I guess she understands that. Okay, so Kevin says the line came first before the boat. See, April, they're all saying hello to you. Shake. Wave at them so they know who you are. Nope. See if I can get her to shake. Come here. Come here. Come here. Here. Come on. Here. Sit. 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 You're gonna shake, you're not gonna sit? Okay. She just wants it for free today. All right, so you guys get your questions ready. I'm gonna call Mike in a minute here. It looks like he's already on here joining us. If you want to get raffle tickets today, these are the raffle items. I have a Tatty jig, a couple of magic metal jigs, a Bucktail magic metal light. And I'll put this up for you before I call Mike. And we'll pick the winner on Wednesday. And I figured out the schedule, what we're going to do moving forward now that life is getting back to normal. And I'm booking a bunch of charters now. So I guess I have 4 charters this week. So it's going to be busy. No. Sit. 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 You want to sit? All right, I'll give it to you later. All right, guys. Jig Master. Yeah, Jig Master. Probably wouldn't put 40 pound on there. 25, 30 pounds should be good. Does a full moon impact fishing? Yes, it can. Especially you can get it really windy like it was this week. All right, so let me call Mike right now, guys, so we can talk to him. And get your questions ready.
Michael.
Hey, Mike. I got you on live here. Are you watching on here already?
I am driving. I got hung up because Captain John Woodrum was running a little tardy today.
Oh, okay.
Do you want me to pull over and jump on this thing via YouTube?
No, you just you're on live right now. I'm just
cool.
Yeah, so I'll just read to you the questions that the guys have, and you can just answer while you're driving.
Yeah, I'm about 5 minutes away from home, so I'll talk and drive.
Okay. All righty. So I tell the guys that your boats are running now. They want to know a little bit about what your schedule is over there and if anything's changed, like load numbers and prices or anything.
Yeah, we got everybody online. The first boat always off the docks, the Pursuit, leaving at 6 o'clock, fishing Catalina Island, so it's a 6 to 6 full day. The loads have drastically changed, but the price has basically doubled on our 3/4 day stuff. It used to be around $75. It's about it's a $115 Monday through Friday and $135 on the weekends. And the loads have been cut down to, I think it's 24 on the Pursuit. So most of you guys know that boat for carrying quite a few people and still managing to have a good time. They're definitely changing things. See how long this will last. Monte Carlo did the same as well. We normally carry 80 people on there, and it's right around 25 or 26 people. Basically, the way that most everybody figured it out in the day boat world is overall length of the boat and divided by 6. So everybody has their 6 foot distancing, as well as wearing their face masks sanitizing stations, and we always have soap and water on the boats, which works the best for sanitizing, but we have added a few more things on all the vessels, as well as a couple more daily routines for new sanitizing protocols on all the day boats and for the overnight boats as well. But prices have changed. They're set for right now on this month. I don't know what it's going to happen for July, but 22ndstreet.com will have all the posted schedules. Most of you guys have already noticed that on our website because the boats are sold out. So it's pretty cool. Everybody really, really ambitious to fish. We did fish this weekend. It was a little breezy. The guys have located Yellowtail at Catalina Island, and I was talking with Anthony running the Native Sun. He went 4 for 20, I guess, is what he's claiming. The captain lost 6 fish, so he might have got a little too tight to the spot. Don't know where they were fishing. But big fish, 18 to 30 pounders. So loads have changed. Prices have increased, but it is based off of, it's still fair, definitely fair. And most everyone will be signing a waiver. All landings will be signing waivers before you board. It's basically asking questions to see if you are healthy enough to go fishing and not have anything that's contagious. It's pretty straightforward. SAC has given us these parameters, and they've worked their butts off getting these landings open. So pretty cool.
And so right now you have half day, 3/4 day, and overnight trips running out of 22nd Street?
I have the full day leaving at 6, the Monte Carlo leaving at 6:30 and 12:30, our half day boat. The Native Sun leaving the 3/4 day, fishing from 7 to 4. They usually fish later than 4 o'clock. And the Freedom's back online starting tomorrow night. It is sold out. Trying to see if I can't get John Watanabe on the True Line or Bruce on the Fortune to run relief. But everybody we were all caught off guard, basically. We weren't ready to open up as soon as we did. So everybody will be rocking and rolling by next week for extra overnight boats. But the Freedom and the Amigo will be sharing the overnight thing. So, everybody's back online for the most part.
All right, cool. Okay, guys. So I'm talking, some of you are asking who I'm talking to. So this is Mike. He's the manager at 22nd Street Landing. He manages the office there and all the boats. He's their social media guy too. So you see the posts he puts up all the time, the catches, what the boats are doing. And he's your answer man for anything you want to know about the landing and the boats. And he has a great relationship with all the boat operators in the boat. So if you guys have any more questions, even equipment questions, they have a really good tackle store there and stuff. So it's pretty good. All right. So two of the people are asking here, Mike, can they bring foldable chairs since the galleys are being restricted?
So that is touched on for sure. Years prior, we were kind of against the folding chairs, and we're going to limit the folding chairs if you do bring them, just because it's a not secure item to the deck. But if you do need one, and it's something that you could use, a lot of our customers would let you sit down inside the galleys up above on our upper deck seating. Most of our boats do have upper deck seating, but the chairs we're not opposed to. It's just, it's all going to be weather dependent. So if you have a chair, feel free to bring it with you, but it all depends on the weather. So maybe check the weather more than anything. But the loads are pretty appropriate. So like the Monte Carlo, for instance, we can sit 10 or 12 in the galley and 7 on the upper deck. So that's already more than half the boat seated. So it kind of works out. I know a lot of guys don't like to sit on a boat anyways. But yes, chairs are okay, but weather dependent, I'd have to say.
Right. Yeah, I can't imagine the Monte Carlo with only 25 people on there. That's crazy.
It is. It's very crazy. It's what people have been asking for years. If you want to take advantage of a LA County-based, charter boat with very few people on it, now's the time. And people have noticed, and they have been going stir crazy. So they're out fishing. We got basically anything that could float was out fishing this weekend.
Hmm. All right. So Marshall's asking about the signed fishing spots. Are they doing that? Do they rotate people? How do they do that?
It's definitely a rotation now. Normally the boats are day boats. You get a number if you're the first guy, and you can pick the stern spot. It's not really like that anymore. First guy on the boat can start off fishing there, but it's not anyone's particular spot throughout the day. It's just so very few people on the boat, so we don't have to crowd control like we normally do.
So it's no longer a rotation then? They just kind of, people just move around?
Yeah, basically once you leave your spot at the rail, you're move to the next closest thing.
Okay, so it's not like that anymore. All right, cool.
No.
Tyler says last time he was on the Monte Carlo, there was only 12 people on there. He was lucky.
Oh yeah, definitely. No, that's take advantage of that. The local scene too on Monte Carlo, they're catching barracuda, sculpin, and I think it's the Victory, and a couple boats caught some yellowtail the last few days. I know Walt was saying he saw some signs, so we should see what that horseshoe does once the weather settles down this week.
Yeah, I had a private charter on Friday. We hooked to yellowtail, but it was tough fishing the barracuda. And the seals ate more of our barracuda than we got in the boat.
Yeah, no, the seals, that's what they're saying. Once they started chumming, the seals were all over them. But it's part of Mother Nature. Learn to deal with it.
All right, so Manuel's asking if the bunks are available on the Pursuit.
Yes, they are. I confirmed that with John, but it's all the bunks on any boats at 22nd Street are going to be labeled head to toe for proper distancing. So he's got half the bunks open based off of the 24 people he's allowed to carry for now.
All right, so Edwin's asking if you could give him some tips on the bait. What are the yellowtail biting? What are the boats using live squid, dead squid, sardines? How are they catching them?
So we just started running again this past weekend. The game fish, sea bass, and we caught a couple sea bass and a couple yellowtail Saturday and Sunday. They came by way of sardine. We're fishing live sardine, and it's really nice sardine from San Pedro Bay. The fish today, the yellowtail today, were all on surface iron. So your standard issue mint and scrambled egg, Caddy 45s or Salis, what's it, 7X. Been pretty good, but the hook size you're going to need right now is like a 1 or a 1.0. No, and 1 or 1.0 hook and 20 or 25 pound test is going to be your best way to go. And sliders, that's entirely up to you, but I wouldn't go anything heavier than like a 1/2 ounce.
Yeah. Anthony's asking about wire leader for the CUDA, but Anthony, really, you just need a circle hook. A circle hook, and you can avoid having your line bit because the fish will get hooked in the corner of the jaw. A circle hook with circle hook with live sardine will work out good. I think Michael's agreed to that.
Yeah, there's you can contest to this, but the numbers of barracuda just aren't there, so the wire leaders aren't necessary. So I think Mitch had 50 or some barracuda compared to hundreds of them like you guys used to get them back in the day. So the wire leaders aren't really necessary.
So the guys are asking too, the yellowtail you're talking about for today, were they local or were they island fish?
Both. The ones we caught today on the Native Sun, he was over at Catalina Island. And I saw a couple of fillets coming off the Pursuit when I was hanging out with Gus when they backed in today. So that was Catalina. I do know that the boys that stayed local, there's a lot of sign, that Mussel Farm and whatnot. They're seeing it. So there's fish everywhere.
And Walt's running with the Monte Carlo?
Walt and Steven, Captain Steve-O. They're Steve-O's running the boat Mondays and Tuesdays, and Walt's running Wednesday through Sunday.
Okay. Yeah, I used to fish with Walt back in the 80s before he had a license.
Walt always tells me stories about Redondo. It was a rite of passage to be able to fish there. You were if you were allowed to fish there, you were a somebody. Otherwise, you just stayed and had to beg to get on the boat. A lot of talented fishermen out of there.
Yeah, no, it was different. It was a different world. And I used to fish with Walt out of it was the Channel Islands with Steve Kelly, and him and his guys would charter Steve Kelly's boat and go fish the deep hole, and we would stay there overnight. Steve would go to sleep, and the boat wouldn't move, and we'd stay in one spot and fish for calicos. And usually every trip somebody got one at least 10 pounds, but lots of big calicos. And then in the morning we'd fish for an hour for sea bass, and then we'd go in. But that was fun.
Yeah. Did you see Gus and Gary's huge calicos when they went fishing with Benny during this COVID closure thing?
No.
They were big ones. I think Gary's was over 10.
Wow.
And they were fishing the PV coastline. PV coastline's been biting. You know that. But for the half day guys, once we start figuring things out, we'll start going to fish KOU. They just built a new reef there too. They're calling it Trump's Reef or something like that, right outside of Donald Trump's flag. And yeah, that's pretty cool. Good to know. And they already dove it. The bass are already getting on top of it. I just got to learn how to anchor up on it.
So the reef is already all built?
They got the barge there dropping rocks. I'd say that they've been doing it for the last month and a half almost.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because I thought they were still building it. I didn't know it was fishable already.
Yeah, I'd say cruise up there. You probably can get in there and fish it. But yeah, they didn't do this big rollout. I saw one or two posts on Facebook about it from the RPV coastal community. They weren't too stoked on it, but I think it's going to be good for the coastline.
All right, so there's a couple more questions. Marshall wants to know, are you guys running twilight trips now? And if so, which boats are running them?
It's going to be Friday, starting this Friday. I was going to be the captain, but I'm going to bring back Jacob Mole out of retirement. It's going to be Fridays and Saturdays to start next weekend, and then depending on how full we get it, we might go 4 or 5 days a week. And I know a couple guys have been fishing twilight, and it's pretty good fishing right now. Bass are biting. June's usually a good month for us, though. Leadhead and squid, 1.5 ounces, 2 ounce leadheads, grind the bottom. You lose a lot of leadheads, but it's a lot of fun. You become a good fisherman on twilight. Just throwing that one out there. Yeah.
Yeah, if you can fish in the dark, I think you get a lot better.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, so there's new people coming on now. We're 90 people now, and they're Jason's.
Where's the question?
Jason's asking what captain is on the phone today. So, Jason, this is Mike. He is the captain, and he runs the office at 22nd Street Landing. So he runs the office there. They just started running trips this week, so I wanted to get him online to let you guys know that they're running. And he's told us that they have half day, 3/4 day, and starting on Wednesday, they're going to have overnight boats too running. And next week, they plan to have even more half-day boats running. So that's pretty cool. They're asking if there's any bluefin trips coming up or tuna trips going to be running from 22nd Street.
If you pay attention between, I'd say 5 and 9 a.m. tomorrow morning, the whole San Diego fleet's running their first trip. So that'll be the gauger on if we're going to go running for it. But normally June, we like to focus on San Clemente Island, Santa Barbara Island, San Nicolas Island. It's really good time to start focusing on sea bass and yellows and whatnot. And we got a lot of connections with the commercial fleet. And they said there's just a lot of sign, a lot of bait, a lot of squid. Not enough to commercial fish it, but enough to keep the sea bass and yellowtail interested in certain islands. You guys are fortunate to get out with like Mikey and Jacob on the Pescador. They specialize in those islands, and they usually you don't see them post too much fish counts, but they're usually knocking the piss out of the sea bass and the yellows. Tuna, you'll probably see that pop up in the San Diego world, but I don't think we're going to be running for that. It's too early. Unless our area dries up, then we'll go hang out with them. But probably focusing on yellowtail, bass, sea bass, rockfish for at least another couple weeks. Enjoy that because we missed out on that March and April.
So Marshall's asking the cost of twilight trips and what are the hours, like departure time?
It's 6:30 to midnight. And the ticket price went up a little bit because of the loads. $60 for twilight. It was $50, so it went up $10, but $60. And all that info will be on 22ndstreet.com.
And that's going to be limited 24 again?
Yep. Well, 20. It's 26 on Monte Carlo.
26. Okay.
Pretty much, you could say most boats are going to be right around 25 people. So. All of them. That's how it measures out.
So Lee's asking whatever happened to Tony, who used to cook on the Monte Carlo. I think I ran into Tony in Laughlin one time.
Tony's Tacos. I don't know. I heard rumor he's still out and about. He's not fishing or cooking anymore. But yeah, no, that was the best. Yeah. Like to have that kind of flex back on these boats, a little more personal feel. Have these galley cooks step it up a little bit and do Taco Tuesdays and specials like that. That'd be great.
Yeah, I think he moved down to like San Bernardino or out that way.
Yeah. Cost of living.
Yeah. They're asking if you know if there's live squid available at the bait barge.
There is not live squid at the San Pedro barge or the Long Beach barge because of the wind was up. But I think Johnny and Martin are going to be out on the LBC, camped out in front of Avalon, or G-Paul, and Aaron on the Kinley Marie probably be out. They're probably out tonight working. So I'd say if the weather's good, just get on channel 11 if you're out and see where the squid guys are at. But there's really badass sardines at both Newport and San Pedro Bay Barge.
Okay. So can you give these guys a couple of pointers of what you see most of the beginner mistakes you see happen out there on the sport boats when you're running a boat, or if you're just out there fishing? Give them some pointers so they can eliminate those mistakes.
First mistake is overcompensating, putting way too much, or we're putting too heavy a line on a fishing rod, and it's like casting a rope. So for guys that are out first timer, if you're spending this kind of money to go fishing on a sport boat, spend 30 minutes at your local tackle store and ask those guys. Most everybody that's in a tackle shop fishes and has been fishing for a long time, and they got the right answers. So first thing you see is people think they need 40 through 80 pound monofilament on their reels, and you don't. You could pretty much fish everything in the world with a good 25-pound outfit. And the next thing is, when you get bit, do not try to stop the line with your thumb. You have these things called a drag.
Yeah.
And when you hear these captains, you got Captain Jeff Markland, that's usually famous for the 976 tuna reports, saying we lost a lot of fish, casualties, and technical difficulties. You got to learn how to use your drag. Once you put it in gear, if it's set properly, and if you don't know what I'm talking about, ask the deckhand to set your drag, and they're really good at it. They don't want to see you lose fish, so do not try to stop the line with your thumb or fingers or any other your body parts. pretend you realize coronavirus and just don't touch it after you get bit. So, and then hook size. You got to try to get away with the smallest hook that you can land the biggest fish with. That'll make your bait look natural. So hooks, proper size line, and don't try to stop the line from coming off your reel. Just let it do its thing, and if it's coming off too fast, ask for a deckhand, and he'll help you slow it down. You know what to do. Mm-hmm. A lot of these guys, this is what we do. This is our hobby. That's what we do for a living. So,
yep,
that's where I'd have to say.
So,
and
Rick,
then patience.
Rick
patience.
Said,
when you go to the bait tank and you grab a bait, don't squeeze it. If he makes that noise, get another one.
Oh, you killed it.
You grab it very gently, and where to put a hook in it, wherever you can get the hook in quick enough. So you'll see it. You guys spending this kind of money to go fishing, ask a lot of questions, pay attention. We want to try to give you the best experience you possibly can have your expectations set low, and anything better than a bad day in the water is a good day.
So Rick's asked this question 3 times, so I guess you need to answer it. He would like to know if the restaurant above the landing tackle shop is open.
They will be open the first week of July. They're going to do a soft opening at the end of June, probably start their curbside service stuff. They don't want to rush things. They want this to be perfect. They have a lot of older clientele that they want to keep safe, and they want to let her out nice and slow. So they're in no rush to open, and they want to get it right the first time.
That's good. They have that kind of money. They can wait.
Yeah, no, exactly.
Yeah. Tyler's asking if there's any attractions nearby 22nd Street Landing, if that things that go sightseeing do, like if they're in town for a couple of days. I mean, I know the battleship is there.
Yeah, San Pedro is actually a really cool town to be in. It's unfortunately we don't like talking about it too much. We don't want any more people moving in. But I'm joking. If you're here to visit, you stay somewhere around San Pedro, around 22nd Street, the DoubleTree, beautiful hotel in by Hilton, right on the waterfront. And then you have the Cabrillo Beach Aquarium, as well as the bathhouse there. There's lots of history on there. The waterfront, LA waterfront, closed, and they're in the process of rebuilding the whole development there, and it's taken some time. But the offside streets there off of Pacific, off 6th and 7th Street, you got old downtown San Pedro that have a lot of really beautiful shops and a lot of things to do, a lot of art district type stuff, as well as the Iowa and the Lane Victory, both decommissioned battleships that are pretty cool, and they're almost free to go see. Just not much of a donation. You also have the fishing museum that's right there, the Maritime Museum, and then you get to see the big old container ships, and you can spend a lot of time down here. It's pretty cool. But the whole LA waterfront thing, it's not done yet. That's going to be a huge attraction in the next coming few years. There's a ton to do here. And then the Korean Bell. I mean, you can spend a couple days here for sure. A lot of stuff to do.
Yeah, I'm surprised that big restaurant at Port Sakala is still open. San Pedro Fish Market, that they still have it open.
Yeah, they kept it open for one reason or another, but they need to have some kind of attraction in the interim so people didn't lose interest coming to that area, because a lot of people have been coming there since they were born. So it's kind of like their homing pigeon.
Mm-hmm. All right, so we have some new people now, and they're asking about the Freedom again. So can you give them the repeat info on the Freedom?
Of course. Freedom's online nightly, 10 o'clock. They're going to fish any one of the outer islands, possibly even Catalina if that's biting good enough. Ticket price is anywhere from $210 to $225. The load's limited to 24 passengers. Masks are required on all of our trips, whether it's one of those buffs or anything you can cover your mouth and nose with for the most part. And mandatory. Or else my brain farted. But and bring your own. This year's for all overnight boats. You're gonna bring your own blankets and pillows or sleeping bag. Every night of the week, 10 o'clock, freedom.
So you have to bring your own bedding from now on, overnight trips.
Yep.
Cool. All right, Mike, anything else you want to tell these guys?
Things are going to change day by day, week by week. Fishing's just going to get better. June and July, I'd say. A lot of people ask when the best time to go fishing is. I'd say June into July, and then October when you get into the day and a half stuff. But the last few years, as we know, has been less than normal, and fishing's been good all the time. So go fishing as much as you can. For you guys that watched Dan enough, probably learned enough, go try some of the tricks that he's showed you on the boats. Have patience. Everything you need to know is on 22ndstreet.com. A lot of information goes out on our Instagram page. You'll see my live feeds there and updates. If it's something worth talking about, I'll definitely talk about it on 22nd Street Landing Instagram. Always tag us. I will share pretty much every photo that you tag. So if you want to be Insta famous for the day, hashtag 22nd Street or DM us. And let's go fishing. It's been a long staying at home. I'm not used to staying home.
Yeah, so that's the update, guys. And like Mike said, you have to have a mask. All the overnight trips, you have to bring your own bedding. And the trips are super limited load now. I mean, the Monte Carlo is only going out with 26 people. I don't think I've ever seen that before. So you will be paying a little bit more, but you're going to get a lot more one-on-one service. So.
Oh, yeah. Thank you for having me on. Always a pleasure.
Thanks, Mike.
Yeah. And did you ever get a hold of Tom?
Yeah, I got a hold of Tom, and we're still doing the trip. So July 12th, July 12th, we'll be going on the tradition out of 22nd Street Landing, guys. You can go to my website and join me there. It's limited load. We're only taking 22 passengers. It'll be 24 total on the boat with me and a cameraman. So go to the website today and sign up. We have still got some spots available. I think we have like 12 spots available. So come join us, and it'll be our first filming trip in 22nd Street in a while. And hopefully Mike's going to be able to get us on a twilight trip sometime this summer, and we'll get that done too.
Yeah, we'll work on that.
Yeah,
I was talking to Jeff about it.
Cool.
All right, cool.
All right, well, thank you, Mike. Have a good night.
You too. Bye.
All right, thank you. All right, guys, that was Mike. Captain Mike from 22nd Street. So that was cool. So well, it seems like you guys like that. I'm glad you did. No, I'm still here. It just Mike hung up. So Mike's done. He just got home. He's been at the landing all day. He was there in the morning for the morning trip to get out at 6 a.m. He had to be there before that. And he was there when the boats came back. And the 5 o'clock boat was supposed to be back at 5, and it didn't get in till like 6. So he was there for a while. Get everything put away. Oh, cut off on your phone. Okay. See what you mean. All right. So, guys, I'm going to try to keep the schedule through June, even though it's going to be a pretty hectic month for me. But I think what we're going to do in July, and see if we can do this for the summer, is we'll switch to Tuesdays and Thursdays. I know Thursdays might be a little tough because there'll be some Thursday night football going on, but we will try doing Tuesdays and Thursdays starting the first week of July. Alrighty. But for the rest of this month, let's try this. I'm going to try to stick to the schedule. It's going to be hard because I have trips every Wednesday this month. Starting this Wednesday, I have a Catalina trip. I think we have one spot left. I don't know if it got sold out yet. We have one spot left for this Saturday. This Wednesday, going to Catalina. Let me see if it's there. And then I just added today discounted trips for the month of July. So, we still have one spot left for this Wednesday's trip to Catalina. It's $275 a person, which after hearing what the boats are charging now for the overnight trips, it's pretty reasonable. That's about what they're charging for that. So if you want to join me, it's an open party trip. You only need to buy one spot, and I only have one spot left. Oh, yeah. Looks like Abraham wants it. And then we did add some trips for July. So I'm going to have 2 Catalina trips for July. July 1st, it's a Wednesday, and July 15th, I'm going to be doing open party trips to Catalina Island. And then July 8th, we're going to do a half-day trip. And you can see all those trips here at this link. If you guys are interested in that. So, hey, we have somebody on here from Europe. Where is he from? I just saw it. Denmark. I don't think we've had anybody from Denmark join us before. Hello. Thanks for joining us. I'd love to go fishing in Denmark sometime. I know you guys have salmon. I'm sure you have halibut, flounder, cold water fish, stuff like that. But I've never ever been up there. So it's pretty cool. So Tony booked his first trip, Coronado Island. The Coronado Island is going on the Excalibur. Wow. I would say, so you're asking what pound test outfits to bring? I would bring a 20 and 30 and maybe a 40. But you won't need 65. The yellowtail you're going to catch on 20 and 25 pound tests. If you're yo-yo fishing with a jig, you might want to use 40 pound test for that. But for live bait fishing with sardine, you're only going to need 25 or 30 pound. And if you're going to be yo-yo fishing, pick up some of our magic metal jigs. They work out really good for yo-yo fishing. You want the 4.5 and 3 3/8. This is what it looks like. Got that thin profile, perfect for yo-yo fishing. Got lots of yellowtail and tuna on those. And just use this link here, and you'll get your 20% off. And works out good. I'll be in the office for a few hours tomorrow, so if you guys want to order the mystery tackle bags, or you want to order, our t-shirts, whatever, our jigs, I'll be there, and we can send them out to you tomorrow. Okay. And a bunch of you guys were buying the mystery tackle bags before, but we didn't get that many orders last week. But just in case you guys are interested in them, here is the link to that. This is for the mystery tackle bags. We have a $10 one and a $20 one. No, they're tackle bags, fishing tackle bags. It just has selected fishing tackle. Okay, Disney. I have to see who you are one day. Check out your YouTube channel. Yeah, here in California, you need a fishing license for every place except on a pier. So they're saying in Denmark, there's some places that you can fish without a license. I'm sure you always need a license. Disney, we've met before. Okay, now you really got me wondering. Does that mean that you'd like to go to Disneyland? I'm just guessing. Okay. So you guys like the pictures, Jessica, huh? I was surprised how many hits I got on that. April. Give April her last bone for the evening. She comes running over. She hears it. There you go. Your last one for tonight. She approaches it like it's a landmine. I don't know why she does that. Okay, Disney. We met before. Now you got me wondering who you are. No idea. Yeah, Rick, I've never made clam chowder, so I don't know. Yeah, Below Deck just started at 8 o'clock, so if you guys want to go watch it, you can see Jessica. I just took a picture with her on Saturday, so it's pretty cool. And I was talking to her the other day about, yeah, she's there. She's the third stew. That means that she's new to being the stewardess, the stew crew member on the boat. And I was talking to her about, because some of the sport boat captains saw the picture of me here together on the dock, and they were asking what it would take to get her on their boat to serve burgers and beer. So I was kind of asking her, and she said because of the virus thing, a lot of the yachts that she would normally work on aren't running, but they're planning to run in the next month or so. But she said she might be willing to do that, to go for a day. So I told her we'll do a combo thing. I'll work the deck as a fishing expert, and she can serve the food and the beer to the guys on the deck. And somebody commented that they'd love to see that, because then it would probably empty the deck and there'd be nobody fishing on the rail, and everybody would be in the galley when she was handing out the food. But I don't know. She was really nice. It was just one of those things, you run into stuff. Oh, you met me at the swamp meet. Okay. Yeah, we're hoping to have a swamp meet in November. I'm glad you guys like my shirt. I'm missing not going to any games. I love going to Dodger games. Did we get an order? So, if your wife is Jeanette Abraham, then you're signed up. I just saw it. Tony, don't be a hater. This is daughter country. Go Dodgers. But for tonight, I should say go below deck. So I want to see the episode. I think I saw her last week on the episode, but she looked a lot different in her little bikini on the dock. Yeah, April always wants a bone. And now that she's been fed, she's going to want me to take her outside. We went for a little walk this morning, but she'll want to go out there again. So it's cool. We have somebody from Norway. So we've had people from the Middle East, from Dubai, from Qatar, on here, Saudi Arabia. We've had people from France, people from Scotland, Ireland, England, and now Norway. That's cool. That's cool, Jeff. That's good. Well, you're lucky you weren't out this weekend, Jeff. The weather's been really windy and blowing. So today was really bad. I was on the freeway and it was blowing like 40, 50 knots. So. Okay, so Michael wants to know, on a day and a half tuna trip out of San Diego, what should he bring? Yeah, and not only will you want 25, 30, and 40, and 60, you'll probably want one with 100 pound. So 100 pound on there, just in case you get into the big fish, the 200 and 300 pound fish. All the school size fish you can catch on 25 or 30 pound. That's not a problem. But that 100 pound fish, 40, 50 pound is fine. But when you get in that fish over 100 pounds, you're going to need something heavier. You're going to need a 100 pound rig, 80 pound rig, something like that. So have that. Or you can sit in the galley and relax, catch the smaller ones, and let the young guys all pull on the big ones. Whatever you want to do. Yeah, Jeff has to worry about tornadoes, huh? That's pretty bad. Yeah, no, Denmark's a big country. Pretty cool. Alrighty, guys. So just a reminder, if you're interested in our mystery tackle bags or any of our lures or anything, please go to our website and order that stuff tonight. And then tomorrow I can send it to you. And like I said, I just posted brand new open party trips on my boat, just 4 of us on the boat. And those are for July. I added 2 tuna trips and 1 trip to 1 half-day trip for July. So we have that available. Tanner and Cortez are in the same area. Cortez has a really shallow spot, so you can actually anchor on it. But Tanner and Cortez are pretty much out in the same area, Kevin. I think Cortez is the one that half of it is in Mexico and the other half of it's in the U.S. waters. So it's Cortez, I think, is the one that during low tide an aircraft carrier ran over it, actually hit it. So I don't know if it ran aground, but I know it hit it. So, but it's actually there. That's sad, Jeff. Had your barn blown away by a tornado. Pretty good. Quaker Oaks. How many countries have I fished in? Not as many as I traveled to, but I've fished in Venezuela, Colombia, Nicaragua, Costa Rica, El Salvador, Guatemala, Mexico, Honduras. It's not a different country, but I fished Alaska. I fished Qatar, Kuwait. No, sorry, not Kuwait. Dubai. I've been to Europe many, many times, but I've never fished in Europe. I watch the guys fish, but I think I fished Jamaica. But I've never fished in France, never fished in Italy. I fished in Yugoslavia or Hungary. I think it was Yugoslavia. So quite a few places. But yeah, there was a time there where I was traveling 10 countries a year. So that was a lot of fun. Lots of travel. I love traveling, meeting people. It's always fun. So it's cool. Yeah, I'd like to get to Denmark. Maybe one day I can get out there and do a show, do some stuff. So that'd be cool. All right, guys, I'm going to go make a little dinner, go settle down and watch Below Deck tonight. Check out my friend Jessica. I met her once, so now I call her my friend. But I'm going to go see Jessica on TV. So that's about it. Nothing too exciting tonight. And then for July, like I said, we'll switch from Monday, Wednesday, and Friday to Tuesdays and Thursdays. All right, guys. So I will be on the water Wednesday. I have a private charter going to Caleen Island. And I will give you guys a fish report. What channel is Below Deck on? I think it's on Bravo. It's not Discovery. Pretty sure it's Bravo channel. All right. All right. Good night, guys. Thanks. Talk to you soon.